Though Madison's position had prevailed at the Philadelphia Convention, the Constitution still had to be ratified by the states. The omission of a Bill of Rights presented a major obstacle to the ratification of the Constitution. While today few Americans question the wisdom of the Constitution or its framers, in the 1787 and 1788 time frame, there was serious opposition to it. The Federalists supported ratification of the Constitution because they believed it created a central government with sufficient authority to maintain order. The Anti-Federalists feared abuse of authority by a strong central government and believed that the new Constitution had gone too far in strengthening the hand of the central government. During the debate over the ratification of the Constitution, famous revolutionary figures such as Patrick Henry came out publicly against the Constitution. They argued that the strong national government proposed by the Federalists was a threat to the rights of individuals and that the president would become a king, and objected to the federal court system as proposed in the Constitution. Thomas Jefferson, who at the time of the Constitutional Convention was acting as an ambassador to France, described his concern over the lack of a Bill of Rights, among other criticisms. In answer to the argument that a list of rights might be interpreted as being exhaustive, Jefferson wrote to Madison, "Half a loaf is better than no bread at all. If we cannot secure all of our rights, let us secure what we can." The ratification of the Constitution was in serious jeopardy in several states. If the wisdom of its framers was so obvious, if its provisions were so conspicuously apparent, why did James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and John Jay think that it was necessary to write the Federalist Papers, a series of 98 essays designed to convince the people of the state of New York that the Constitution was worthy of ratification? In the face of this opposition, how did the Constitution come to be ratified? In Massachusetts, the Constitution ran into serious organized opposition. Only after two leading Federalists, John Adams and John Hancock, negotiated a far-reaching compromise did the convention vote for ratification in February of 1788. The Anti-Federalists had demanded that the Constitution be amended before they would consider it, or that amendments be a condition of its ratification. Federalists had responded that it had to be accepted or rejected as it was. Under the Massachusetts Compromise, the delegates recommended amendments to be considered by the new Congress should the Constitution go into effect. The Massachusetts Compromise determined the fate of the Constitution, as it permitted delegates with doubts to vote for it in the hope that it would be amended later. 4 of the next 5 states to ratify the Constitution, including New Hampshire, Virginia, and New York, included similar language in their ratification instruments. Thus, the political compromise between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists that allowed the Constitution to be ratified took the form of a promise that Congress would propose a Bill of Rights as a series of amendments to the new Constitution after it took effect.